Hey, what's up, guys? We have another Build Beauties today with, of course, a regular recurring guest. Go ahead and say hi.
Hey, I'm Henry Johnson from Southern California.
Yeah. And so, what's really cool is Henry played this deck. It's Resourceful Majin Buu. He played this deck over at the Utah Promo Palooza. Now, that was the first organized play event for the Dragon Ball Super set for Fantasy. And I think we didn't have any events legal for Movie Collection 3. So we have jumped into this meta with Dragon Ball Super being legal, and when I saw the pairings and the deck lists from the event, I saw Resourceful Majin and I immediately commented and I said, "Oh, is he running Fat Boo?" Because I'm assuming that he's running the Villain Boo. But no, Henry is running Hero Boo. So take it away, Henry. Why did you choose Hero Boo and Resourceful Mastery?
Well, the reason I chose it to begin with is a lot less deep than the reason I still play it, but I kind of chose it for two reasons. One, Boo is at least, fat, friendly Boo.
Mm,
Friendly is my favorite character in the show, so
body
I
positive
love
Boo.
playing him. Yeah, body positive
Mm.
Boo, and his stack is really fun to play. I'm happy that my favorite character has such a cool stack, so I play him as much as I can. And the second reason is I really like Resourceful. I like the play style of Resourceful, but I always found like it does a lot of little pokes. Like it struggled a lot of times to do damage, and I was like, man, Boo 3 and 4 have such absurd modifiers. Any little poke is going to be doing like this big hunk of life cards. So I just kind of played it, and then I found out a lot of the, reasons I enjoyed it and why I kept playing it. It just provides a lot of leveling that comboed with Blue's little bit of sprinkled in anger. It levels surprisingly fast. Boo has that little bit of ally synergy. It also, nowadays with stage beats, it's really strong, but there's always going to be the, I don't know, 10, 15% of decks that just body stage beats and you're screwed. You just can't push damage through. So having the life card kind of infusion with Boo means that even if your stage damage is doing nothing, you can still win a decent amount of those matchups just because you have recursion and life damage.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
No, that's a great explanation of that. So kind of going through it, this deck is super interesting because both you and Jeff, who topped at the event at the Utah Promo Palooza, you guys are both running Blue Resourceful. He was running Genyu. You were running
Michael,
Boo.
Mike,
Or
Michael.
sorry, Michael. Sorry, Michael was
Yeah.
running, not Jeff. Sorry. Um, and both of you guys barely ran any blocks. So I just want to dive right into the block lineup here. Uh, you run like no blocks, and okay, there's round throw over there too. But wow, what the hell is going on here?
Well, right when I built the deck, I had the classic 6 physical, 6 energy time kind of block lineup. Maybe I had knee clash. I might have even had like 15 blocks. But every time I was like, oh, this is a really good card. I want to add this. I'd always just knock off a block. And this isn't, I don't think, the perfect list after playing the tournament. I think there are a few changes. Um, but I run round throw, which is an attack slash block, and I found, even when my opponent would be playing pretty beefy energy attacks, I'd be saving blue round throw to use as an attack, and I think that just kind of shows that I don't really need blocks. Blue dismissal is busted. Blue brace is really strong, but sometimes dead, so I run it at 2 of time, obviously. And aside from that, there's no like blue block that's like really good. I mean, there's knee clash, which I could definitely consider running a few, but I just don't think blocks are that important. You have recursion. I'd rather be doing damage than blocking attacks.
Mhm. I mean, on the move uh, is
On the
one
move
that
is good too, but it can also just draw you a dead card and put a card back in your opponent's hand.
that's true. That's true. So besides, the lack of blocks, we kind of go into your board here. Now you run. I think it's pretty standard that most resource decks are going to run, stretch kick at 3, but you do run, and then sword stance. I think obviously makes a great. I think sword stance being life card beats is actually really really good with Boo in this case. It seems like.
Yeah, yeah, I run key build up, which is nice because, like I said, it sprinkles some life damage in there. Obviously, I have the two attached cards, which are good. I have stylish pose, which is really good. You know, um, and I just Yeah, standard resourceful stuff.
And of course the two allies. Going in from that, we'll go into the events real quick. I mean, three company seems like I feel like you kind of have to run three company with Boo just because you kind of would rather, if you can help, maybe draw into it. But you can of course search it with level one. But the three Confro, three
Yeah.
Unleashed, and then Denial, which I think Denial is a wild card. I think that card's
Mm-hmm.
so good.
Yeah, originally I was like, this is. Originally I thought denial would be kind of hard to fit in. I was like, it's cool. It's not an attack. Same reasoning with the blocks, but it's pretty crazy. You can just keep going, putting because it actually it puts 4 cards back in your deck if you include denial. I've never used it for the drill hate. I don't really see why you would, but I mean, there's that off chance you're playing against orange 20 or orange trunks and you just blow up their 20 drills. But yeah, standard events. I think every single Hero Boo deck I'm running now, I just run these 10 events.
Mm.
Company, yeah, company's great. I rarely tutor company with Boo level 1. A lot of people are like, they'll enter on me, I'll have 1 card, and they're like, aren't you, you sure you don't have any effects? And yeah, because I don't know. I think with 3, as well as Stylish Pose and Unleashed, like, you'll get your allies out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a game making, I'd say gameplay decision. That I think I don't have enough time on Boo to necessarily know when I should do it or not. I usually tend to gravitate towards searching, but I really hate when people enter on me with Boo and I have 1 card in hand and I want that card really bad.
Yeah.
So totally understandable.
Yeah, I've played a lot of Hero Boo, and I've found that I don't do it that often. This is actually the reason I like this deck so much and why it suits my play style so well, is because it's actually really good at just kind of being a really aggro deck that can pass. You just pass.
Mm.
So with that, a lot of times you're holding 1 card, and the level 1 power isn't really worth it enough to use twice to get rid of like a confrontation or something.
Yeah. So yeah, you went Confro over Sphere, or without Sphere rather. Do you regret that at all, or do you think that's
No,
fine with this deck?
I think it's exactly what it needs because with this kind of deck, you never want a card, especially a non-styled card that you couldn't potentially pitch for mastery that could be dead.
Mm.
I'd rather just run 3 confrontation. Like if they have an event, I'm gonna get rid of it anyway. And the
Yeah.
whole you want sphere to defend your unleashed is stupid because I could just confrontation. They either sphere my confrontation or I'd get rid of whatever. And if they had a sphere, it's not like that would
Yeah.
have
You went even anyway.
helped my unleashed anyway. Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
that's fair.
Mhm.
The attack lineup, mostly three ofs. You have the one of takedown and like no decap. So why do you have one of takedown? I'm just curious.
Um, it's it is. I love it. I love it at a 1-up. You have blue rebuke, so you always have that. Your opponent levels, you grab takedown, and now they're just in this like annoying position, especially because they know you have it, and they just never want to gain any anger. Um, yeah, I think it's great because a lot of times it's not doing much, and with 1-of like you have recursion, you have choice recursion on 3, like you can put it in your deck and you can get it. So 1-of it's perfect because if you see 2 takedown, what are you gonna do with that?
Hmm. Interesting. Yeah. Otherwise, it seems like I mean, tempo and lunge are standard. I feel like all resourceful decks should run Aldiga Grave, just because
Yeah.
that, and with Boot too. So I did a deck with Anthony Tardino, and he told me that bumping people with Dig is super good with Boot, especially if you have B out, because
And
you just outscale with actions.
yeah, you're resourceful. So if I hit a dig and I'm not like directly under an anger threat, I can, and they haven't used their power or whatever, I'll just level this up and then
Yeah.
can get a card, go up, yeah, start that chain. Like once you get to level 2, and if you have B on level 2, it's pretty safe to say you'll hit 4.
Mm. And then
And
of
yeah,
course,
you mentioned, oh, sorry, but
oh
you
no, no,
mentioned decap.
continue.
Honestly, betrayal is definitely the worst attack in this deck. People are like, oh, you need board hate, but you have board hate on level 3. I had it, I don't know, maybe I just didn't see a good matchup for it, but the whole tournament, um, I never liked betrayal, even against Michael in the last round. I banished Goldo 3 times. Right, yeah, 3 times. He just got him back every time. It didn't change
Yeah,
it.
you can
It
use
didn't change a
reflex.
thing. And
Feels
nowadays, that's what
bad.
all board decks can do. You know, any
Y-
deck that I'd rather just hit them with like a big attack or block one of their big attacks than banish it. But I have thought about running two betrayal and like two decap.
hmm. Could, that would definitely help out with like things like blue takedown. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but you run a fair amount of. I mean, I was gonna say you run a fair amount of freestyles, but you really only run what 8 freestyle attacks. But there's a lot of cards that you,
Yeah,
I guess, couldn't use. I don't know. It'd be interesting. It'd be a choice. It would be definitely a consideration. Um,
yeah,
of course, Dashing Punch is an insane card. I know. I read your deck report or your
yeah,
sorry your tournament report, and I said, what is it like? You said that you like had a combat against rampaging Gotenks that you hit him with I'll dig your grave and then hit him with dig and then just put like 40 cards in the banner zone in that combat.
yeah. Dashing punch is absurd. I've actually considered cutting it a few times, and man, I'm glad I didn't because it's crazy. First of all, it's great for leveling, and yeah, even if it doesn't hit, like just banishing their cards. But yeah, in that rampaging Gotenks matchup, which is a pretty good matchup, but I just held the dashing punch even through another combat, and then I got that dig, and then I put like 40 cards into his banish zone.
Nice. On top of that, let's see. Of course, 3 Dev Blow, 3 Concussive Strike. I love Concussive Strike. That card is like one of the most versatile attacks in the game. I feel like,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean that because like what Red Ball can use this card.
It's great in red ball. I love
It
it.
it's yeah, arguably it doesn't let you pick the targets like a dev blow does, but I mean this thing is just wacky and it's
Yeah,
styled. It's a
the
styled
style is
attack.
nice.
So
Yeah, the deck has a pretty good amount of pile hate. That's something I really like in my decks. And between dismissal, which is dismissal is so good.
yeah,
Dismissal, concussive strike, dev blow, correct dashing punch. Like I'm banishing. I have plenty of board hate or pile hate.
yeah. And then you do run Quick Strike. I remember when this card came out, Majin Buu was one of the people I think people were thinking about when this card got previewed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was in the same set as Blue Dismissal, and I was like, man, because I was already playing Resourceful Hero Boo, and I was pretty happy because yeah, it's pretty good. Honestly, Quick Strike, I could see myself cutting one Betrayal and one like Quick Strike for two decap, but Quick Strike is really good. Two anger with Hero Boo can go a long way.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's a cool card. I really like it.
It's focused. That's nifty.
I wish Blue Videl was good because it's got Videl on it, but oh well.
Yeah.
And then of course you run 2 slap, 3 push. I think this makes plenty of sense. I do like the idea of I do like the push being a threat to the like taking out Times Wars, Tool Unleashed and stuff at worst.
Yeah, I like a lot of people run three slap, and I just don't see why. I cannot remember the last time I energy pushed and didn't have a slap.
Mm.
And even if I didn't, I have blue dismissal, so which I can just mill and rejuve.
Yep.
But yeah, when you draw a slap, it just kind of feels bad. So
Ugh, I hate drawing slap.
yeah, I just run it too.
Yeah. Well, I know we kind of touched on it lightly. What are some kind of maybe some changes that you would make after having put this through a competitive event?
Well, it's actually the second event I played. It's the deck's second place. I got second place at one of the online UOP tournaments, but
Hmm.
this list is a lot different than that one. But I think, like I said, I definitely think two Knee Clash would be nice. The super secret sauce would be I'm just gonna put this here to illustrate cutting one betrayal for a overwhelming power.
Oh.
Because, like I said, a lot of the time on Boo level 1, I'm not using that tutor.
Oh, you
So if
could.
I'm in a
Yeah. Yep.
situation, and against Ginyu, you tutor overwhelming power,
To
you
crit.
crit their Goldo, and you just get rid of it. You just dump it,
Yep.
and now they're blank. So
Oh,
that's really good.
I forgot about. I made a red boo ball with that whole combo in mind. I
It's
had
pretty good, yeah.
what the heck? What's that red attached card? Inferno, and then I had like overwhelming power. So it's like out of combat, you could get like 2 crits.
And it's board hate. Boo has really high power levels, so and you
Yeah,
have stage beats, so it's not hard to set that up for to actually use it.
he's quite respectable on the. He does even his villain and hero stack. Fat Boo both. Both of them have great AT. I mean, he's in like
Mm-hmm. He's
D
in F
start.
for a while. Even like
Yeah,
he's on F on one. He's on F on every level, but
yeah,
he can
no,
always like on like 3 and 4. Like he's an F for like you can play an energy and still be an F.
yeah, he's consistently in like D and E, so
Yeah. Oh, and another card I would add is blue teamwork is really cool with this deck. That new card. It's a little more life card damage. It's an anger and it can stay in
the
play if you have an
W,
ally.
yeah, the blue double W's for life cards.
Yeah.
Raise anger one, hit lower anger one. That'd be pretty
Hmm.
good. I think that's more of a resolute card though.
Yeah. I think I thought of it as like a two of, because it can be nice to punch through against the stage beats, but I opted to run quick strike instead.
Yeah, I think quick strike pushes the win condition of the deck more,
Hmm.
being the stage attack, and it's actually got some like immediate anger hit and it's focused. Like it's got a lot going for it.
Yeah.
In my opinion, at least. For this deck, I think it's better, but that teamwork is super good. I have a Resolute Boo and I threw it in there and I love it. Resolute Boo is
Yeah.
super fun. I think Hero Boo is a really cool stack, and
Yeah. My favorite MP for sure.
I feel like I should like him more and play him more than I do. But I always gravitate towards a couple niche MPs.
Hmm.
But on that note, little plug, if you want, I think me and Henry did do a deck list on Red Amplified Tapion, and I ended up building a list very similar to his, using his as a template. And that I think was one of the best decks at least through Movie Collection 3, was probably one of the top decks in the format, without a doubt. I think
Yeah.
Red Amp Tapion. Um, so obviously between that deck, and my experience with it, and then of course this deck, Henry's very much a very, very good deck builder, and on top of it, a very good player. Obviously, you've made it
Thank you.
through top to multiple events, but yeah. So I really like this deck, Henry. I'm glad that you decided to kind of come in and talk about it. I know you did. If you guys do want to find a write up about it, there's a retro article or what
There's
post.
two. There's one buried from a while ago, but yeah. Um, there's two write ups on this deck.
Yeah. The most recent one, of course, from the promo Palooza is up if you'd like to read about his matchups. Otherwise, this, of course, is the deck list on top of some, thought process behind that deck list. Uh, so anyway, I think I'll wrap
Yeah.
this up here. But Henry, I'd like to thank you again for kind of coming on, talking about this deck, and I really appreciate your input, your time, man.
Of course, yeah. Thanks to anyone who watched it.
Alrighty. Well, guys, be looking forward to some more stuff. As always, if you want to get something on Build Beauties, by all means, shoot me a message. I'll try to find some time to work around it. I've been doing a bit more recording again lately as I've had more time. And time, of course, is always running out for me until we hit summer, where I might have some more time. So, anyway, guys, take it easy. Peace.